Hello and welcome to the Mass Media Tribe Meetup, the first one for 2021. Happy New Year to you. Today's topic is how to turbocharge your life in 2021. We have an amazing guest speaker with us today. We have Foxxy Eleoyze is going to be speaking about this topic. We've run a few events together called Own Your Power, and Foxxy recently ran a Reclaim Your SaaS retreat, which I attended in Mudgeeraba, which was awesome as well. So can't wait to hear from her today. And you are welcome to come and join us on the live Zoom. I have just put the link into the chat, wherever you're watching this right now on Facebook. Come and join us. We had a whole lot of people register. I don't know where you all are today. Maybe out late night shopping perhaps on this Thursday night, who knows, but it's absolutely perfect who's here, and I know a whole lot of you will see the replay as well. Welcome to Sashua Benet, who did a fantastic job at the BX Wednesday online event. Well done, I really enjoyed that, Sashua, so welcome. And Sashua attended also my free publicity secrets workshop, which I did the very first one of those as well, full day online event on the 9th of January. So thank you, Sashua, for that and for the lovely comments and reviews around that as well. So I'm Aldwyn Altuney. If you don't know me, welcome, welcome. So great to have you here. And yes, it's been a hell of a year, hasn't it, 2020? And I'm sure we're all sick of hearing that term COVID. And I must say, it's interesting. I just went down to the Australia Fair Shopping Centre today. It's something I very rarely do, go to the shopping centre. And it was interesting to see there were a few people with masks. And I find that fascinating because we don't actually have to wear masks here on the Gold Coast. Some parts of the world it is compulsory, but here we go. Some people just choose to wear masks for whatever reason. Personally, I think it's good to take a deep breath wherever you can and not breathe your own air in. And if you're running with masks on, you could end up killing yourself. So just be careful, all right? If you choose to wear a mask, just make sure that occasionally you get some fresh air, right? And deep breathe from the belly. Now, there's certain things we can't control out there in the world. You can control how you're going to be in any moment. So what is the Mass Media Tribe about? Well, this is actually a meetup group that was a physical event where we actually met on the Gold Coast. We had quite a lot of events at the Quality Hotel Mermaid Waters, which is right next to the Lone Star Tavern in Mermaid Waters. And I set this up in 2018. And the whole concept was to help people get their message to the masses in a really cost-effective way. We had different marketing speakers each time that come and share their expertise. And then we did some events in Brisbane as well at the Manly Hotel. So Gold Coast and Brisbane, we had a few physical events. And then, of course, COVID hit. And so all the events went online as free events. The physical events were $10 to $15, depending on, if you bought your ticket online or not. We've had some extraordinary speakers. And some of the recordings of previous events from last year are on the Mass Media Tribe group on Facebook. So you can see some of them there. And some of them are also on Media Queen TV on YouTube on my channel there. So a little bit about my background. I've been in the media for 37 years now almost. It's my birthday in 2 days' time, yay. So excited. Every birthday we have, it means we are living longer. Something to celebrate, right? Every time you have a birthday, we are living longer because 1/3 of people die by the age of 65. Can you believe that? 1/3 of all people die by 65. So every year that you have on the planet is an absolute blessing. And I think it's important to celebrate life no matter how old or young you are. Age is just a number, as they say, and souls are ageless. So there you go. So my background is I've worked in the media for a long time. I started out as an elite table tennis player and first featured in the media at age 10 for table tennis. I then had my first media training at age 11, and I was joined by people like Joanna Griggs and Jeff Hugel, sponsored by MLC Junior Sports Foundation at the time as an elite table tennis player. And I was on Cartoon Connection at age 11 as well, then did a radio show at age 13, Radio Manly Warringah. Ended up working in the media after that for about 20 years, worked in TV, radio, print media, magazines, and nowadays I do a lot on social media and a lot with online podcasts and online TV shows. And very excited about the world of media that we're moving into, even though there is a lot of censorship that we've been seeing through COVID, which has been fascinating. A lot of censorship around things like 5G and vaccinations and certain topics like that, which are a bit controversial, right? Very interesting to see the censorship and the fact checkers that have come out of nowhere to not show information, such as video I did on 5G right on my balcony here at Southport on the Gold Coast, because a 5G tower went up at the end of my street during lockdown, and I had a guy here with his meter reading, was doing a reading out the front of my place, and he said, oh, the safe level is 2 and we're going over 20 on the scales, went over 20 of the safe levels. And I put this video on YouTube and it's been taken down. Isn't that interesting? So I do recommend do your own research with everything, right? I definitely don't know it all, and we can only go by the information that we're given. I just suggest with everything that you do your own investigation so that you can make an informed choice when it comes to things like vaccinations and 5G. And it's been very interesting, you know, with the Trump elections and what's going on in the US right now. Very interesting times that we are in. There are alternative media channels that I highly recommend that you check out. Now, Parler recently was shut down. We've got things like MeWe, there's library.tv. There's BitChute, which is an alternative to YouTube, which has a lot of freedom of speech there. So people are really wanting, you know, freedom of information right now. We are in interesting times. It's almost like there's a silent war going on. And I just say, in amongst the chaos, just keep spreading love, right? It's all about come from love and gratitude for everything. Things can always be worse. This morning I was walking on the beach on the Gold Coast. I do a 90-minute walk on the beach many mornings, and I just love it, and have a body surf, throw myself in the ocean, and it's one of the best ways I know to start the day. And as I was walking along the Gold Coast, I thought, you know, thank goodness I live on the Gold Coast. Thank goodness I can just go down to the beach at any time, get my feet in the sand, and just appreciate the beauty all around us. The birds are still flying in the sky, right? The nature is still all around us. We have flowers blooming everywhere. You know, there's so much we can be grateful for. And when it comes to getting media coverage and when it comes to success in your life, it's very important that you have gratitude, because the more gratitude you will have, the more you will attract opportunities to yourself, right? The more that you will have success in life, the more you're in gratitude, right? And even though you may not be happy about certain things happening out there, like I'm not impressed that my video was taken off YouTube. You know, some people have had their whole YouTube accounts shut down. Donald Trump had his Twitter account shut down, right? David Icke, actually early on in the COVID piece, had his whole YouTube account shut down. He had 1 million followers on YouTube. And, you know, Alex Jones, Brian Rose, these kinds of people have been censored on some of the mainstream social media channels, and they've now started alternative channels. They've got their websites where they're putting a lot of information on. So I recommend look beyond YouTube and beyond Facebook, and, you know, beyond these mainstream channels, and look elsewhere for information to get a balanced opinion. DuckDuckGo is a great search engine as well to look at, other than Google, because Google does censor a lot of information. Okay, so I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole today, but I must say this is something I'm very passionate about, and I do encourage you to open your mind and see that it's still an amazing world. It's still a wonderful world, regardless of the chaos that exists. There's always going to be chaos, right? At any moment, the shit can hit the fan, so to speak, right? An atomic bomb could come and hit us tomorrow, right? Here we are worrying about COVID and all these things. Anything could happen at any moment, right? It could. And so all we have really that we can control is the moments, moment by moment, day by day, and how we do life. And I'm all for people loving their lives, living lives they're passionate about, regardless of what's happening in the world. So that's a little bit about me. I do events as well on how to gain free publicity secrets I mentioned, and I also co-launched the Gold Coast Business Laughter Club. So something I'm really passionate about is helping to decrease depression, anxiety, and suicide rates through more truth and good news, through people speaking their truth and people being conscious about the messages they consume and the messages that we actually put out as well. Get conscious. I've had depression over the years. Sometimes I go into a funk, and, you know, thankfully nowadays I come out of the funk very quickly. I used to stay in a funk for months at a time when I had really serious bouts of depression. Nowadays, thankfully, with all the personal development work I've done, I'm able to snap out of things very quickly. I've had 4 friends take their own lives. There's 1 million people a year worldwide who take their own lives. We know there's been more deaths also through COVID, where people have been depressed and suicidal. And I do believe we can shift this by shifting the news that we consume and how we do life. And so that's why I say question everything and get the positive stuff into you. You know, there's a lot of motivational videos online that you can watch if you're feeling down. You know, there's a great guy called Nick Vujicic, amazing, one of the most inspiring speakers I know. He's got no arms and no legs, and he is one of the most inspiring men I have ever seen speak. and watch Nick Vujicic. If you're whinging about anything right now, you just watch some of Nick Vujicic's videos. In fact, there was a great 60-minute interview and expose done on him. It was about 30 minutes long, that is on YouTube. It's online at the moment. You can watch that. Very, very inspiring Aussie guy. No arms, no legs, and just a remarkable man. And it's about the spirit. It's not about your condition or your history or anything like that. It's about the spirit of what you convey and how you do life. And if you're loving your life and you're passionate about it, it will shine through. And it's important to stay on that path, I think. So enough about me. I'd love to hear from the other people on the Mass Media Tribe event tonight. If you're watching this on Facebook, you can still join us. The Eventbrite link is there. You can join on Eventbrite. You'll get the Zoom link, or the direct Zoom link is also on Facebook. So come along and join us. So we have guest Sashua today. Sashua, would you like to introduce yourself? Maybe just say your name, what you do, and what you'd like to get out of tonight.
Sure. So my name is Sashua Benet. I'm a transformation coach and intuitive mentor, working with professionals to help them find their truth and path to happiness through living consciously. So consciously is the key word there, after everything you've just shared, Aldwyn.
Yes.
And well, I really just wanted to come along tonight. Obviously, I'd recently been to one of your events and that was very informative. So I thought I'd follow up just to join the group tonight and yeah, see what comes out of new wisdom sharing.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sashua. Thank you. And you did a great job, as I said, at the BX Wednesday online meeting, which you've taken on. Can you tell us a bit about BX actually while you're here, since you're a BX rep?
Sure, love to. Yeah, so BX is a professional networking group that is taking the world literally by storm. It's a very flexible system where once you're a member, you can actually travel between any of the meetings physically or online across the globe, actually. So it means that you can really grow your business. And it's got a great structure. It's fast-paced, very professionally run, and it's like a big, very supportive family in a very professional way. So I highly recommend getting part of BX. It's been an incredible investment for my business.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you, Sashua. And I just recently joined BX myself, so I'm looking forward to connecting with more BX members around the globe. And I love the podcast events that they put on. They have one today, actually. And many different events. A lot of physical events that happen and online events. So if you want to find out more, reach out to Sashua or myself, and we can tell you more about it. Beautiful. Thank you, Sashua. And Foxxy's our guest speaker tonight. Foxxy, would you like to just say a little intro? I will be introducing you as well, but just if you'd like to say something.
So yeah, thanks for having me here. I'm excited to be here and sharing what I have to share, and also to listen to everyone else, including you, Aldwyn. Yeah, just to learn about what's going on for you in your world. And I'm totally with you. Like, live life and enjoy it right now. It's what we're here.
Yes, absolutely. Live life to the full, right? Well, you're 1 in a billion just by being born, right? You need 1 billion other swimmers to get to the finish line. Well, depending how excited your parents were at the time of conception, of course. They say it's actually between 400 million to 1.2 billion swimmers, but let's not get too technical. We'll just say 1 in a billion. We'll just round it off there. You're about 1 in a billion, right? So that's not amazing. Can you think all those little swimmers? You have to look under a magnifying glass to notice, of course. Not that anyone's, I mean, who actually would have counted them? Can you imagine? Who would have counted all the swimmers? Can you imagine?
Someone got the job.
Oh, hilarious. All right. So I'm going to present a segment now on how to get free publicity. And if you have seen me present a segment like this, I suggest keep an open mind, because I never know quite what's going to come out of my mouth at any moment. So you may hear something differently if you have heard me share about this. Okay, here we go. All right, can you see that full screen there? You can. Yep. Wonderful. All right. So I'll present a short segment on how to gain free publicity. Then Foxxy will present about reclaim your power in 2021. And we'll have some giveaways on the end. And whoever's on the Zoom with Sashua, you've been a good chance to win something here tonight. Whoever's on the Zoom will win a prize. So there you go. If you're watching this on Facebook, you need to be on the live Zoom to win a prize tonight. Okay, and we aim to wrap up sometime in the next 2 hours, okay? So before 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is Brisbane time. And it may end up earlier. We'll see how we go today. And I'll be checking if you have any questions on Facebook too. I'll check the Facebook feed and you can pop your questions or comments in there as well. Great if you joined us on the Zoom, of course. Wherever you are, hope you're having a great time out there. And thank you for joining us wherever you are, if you're watching the replay or live today. All right, so how to gain free publicity. All right, now Media Queen is my branding. You've probably seen this little cartoon around the traps. And Media Queen represents stepping up and out with your message no matter what's your background. And it's celebrating your uniqueness as well. And the thing is, everyone is unique, right? You are unique. Your X factor is your story, okay? So you have a unique story. If you've had any hardship whatsoever out there, which if you're a human being, you would have had some hardship. Had any hardship, there'll be a story right there, right, of how you came through that. And you know, it's interesting. I was watching an interview online where they were saying that, you know, if you're 80% positive in life in general, then that's fantastic. And then it's good sometimes to reflect on the 20% of struggles that you've had in life, because that's where you get the biggest growth, right? So 20% of the time or less, you know, whatever you choose to, just actually reflect on the times of challenge that you've had, because that's where the growth comes, right? At the end of every breakdown, there's a breakthrough, they say. So no matter where you're at, no matter what challenges you've been through, there'll be some learnings there that will be great for you and for others if you choose to share from your personal experience with that. Okay, the journey for getting free publicity. Now, this is how my clients come to me. Generally, they are the world's best kept secret when they first come to me, right? They're sitting right here, the world's best kept secret. You've probably got a great product, service, or message, and if no one knows about it, well, what's the point of having it, right? They say 80% of anything you do is marketing. So marketing is really, really crucial. Free publicity is a highly underutilized strategy for marketing, and often because a lot of people just don't know about how the media works, which is why I demystify it through the Free Publicity Secrets workshop that I'm doing. I've got the next one on January 23, if you missed the last one. So you start as the world's best kept secret, and then you make a start, and 50% of anything you do is just starting. So you make a start. You might come to an event like this, or you might want to find out more. You register for a workshop, you make a start, and you think, right, it's time to step up, time to be seen, heard, and known out there, time to make a bigger difference in the world. And then you get some steady progress. You start to learn how to get free publicity, and then you target a few media outlets. You start to get some runs on the board. And the next thing you know, you're shooting for the stars, right? You're shooting for major media outlets, and you're getting a few runs on the board, and maybe some media are feeding off other media, depending how good your story is and how good your angle is of what you present. You start to get some big runs on the board, and next thing you know, you are a star. Voila, there's the rocket ship model of the journey that people go through to go from world's best kept secret to being a star. And in fact, all celebrities and anyone who's known as anyone nowadays, once upon a time, was the world's best kept secret. No one knew anyone else at one point, right? We all start out somewhere. So, and what is it that makes people a star? You know, people I've interviewed like Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Cyndi Lauper, Charlie Sheen, you know, once upon a time, no one knew any of these people. And then they, you know, how did they become a success? Well, here's some keys that would have led to their success, and some keys I recommend for your own success. And one key is passion. What are you passionate about? What do you absolutely love to do that if money wasn't an issue, you would do that thing? What are you passionate about? That makes you excited when you jump out of bed, and you have so much joy when you do that thing. Purpose. What is your purpose? Why are you here? I believe we're all here for a reason. What is your purpose? Getting aligned with your purpose. Then packaging up what you do so that the media love you. So with journalists, you know, they need things presented in a certain way. You need a press release, you need visuals, you need to pitch effectively. to get a journalist's attention to get free publicity. You need to package up what you do effectively. And then profile. Now, when anyone looks to do business with you, they are going to Google you or maybe DuckDuckGo you, right? They're going to search a search engine for you. And what are they going to find when they search your name? Have you Googled yourself lately? Or have you searched yourself lately online and seen what has come up? Now, your profile is really important. The messaging you put out there, your branding, what are people going to see? Is it going to be consistent across your social media channels? And if you're not on many social media channels, I do recommend that you get on them, even though we have no control, obviously, over those social media channels and whether our accounts stay up online or not. And that's why I suggest diversify and make sure you also have your own website where you can connect with people. You're not just relying on social media channels. If you are on social media channels, what you'll find is that often on page one, when people Google you, they will find all of your social media on page one, which is what happens when people Google me. They find my Twitter account, my Instagram. When Google Plus was going, my Google Plus, they see my YouTube videos. So whatever current content I have put out there, because social media is the most immediate media out there, they will see the latest content that you've put out. And your profile is really important. So it's good to just check in and see what is out there, and also do some reputation management as well. If there's anything negative out there, you might want to have a look at that as well and deal with, if there are any negative comments, deal with that if it is out there, so you can manage your reputation as well. People, knowing the right people, everything you do in life relates to other people, building relationships, right? Whether it's one person or 100 people, building relationships with people individually is really, really crucial. And same with getting media coverage, getting free publicity, building contacts in the media is crucial. And if you don't know what you're doing when you go out to media, then you could potentially burn those contacts. And then once you burn those contacts, it's very hard to get them to take you seriously after that. And that's why it's really important to package up what you do effectively and professionally initially, so that journalists will love what you do. And there's a process to getting free publicity, which I'll show you an outline in just a moment. There's a process to getting publicity, which is important to follow. And journalists can tell if you know what you're doing when you're approaching them, or if you're coming from a commercial stance. And this is a big mistake that people make when they go to get publicity, is they pitch things that are too commercial and they're not newsworthy enough. So having that newsworthy angle is really, really crucial to getting publicity. And then once you get your publicity, what do you then do with that? So then propelling yourself with that publicity, making sure that you share that everywhere on your social media, on emails, share far and wide once you get publicity so that people know about it. Have a media page on your website, list the logos. Once you appear in a media outlet, once you can use that logo forever in your marketing, saying as seen here or as seen there. So a lot of people don't do this. It's very powerful thing to do, particularly if you're a speaker or you want to build your profile out there. Now, there's an awesome media magic formula, and I actually have here my magic media wand right here. And this wand is to show that anything is possible for you. Okay, and and if you can picture this one, just picture awesome all the way up. That's what we're looking at here on the screen. Okay, so the awesome, the A of the awesome, A is for articulate your story. So when you first think about getting media coverage, you need to get very clear on what is it that you want to promote. Is it a product, a service, a message, an event? Is it a book launch? What is it you want to promote? And then once you know what you want to promote, you need to look for what is the story behind the story. Because if it's something commercial that you want to promote, like your business, for example, that's going to be commercial. So we need to look at what is the story behind the business. Maybe there's an interesting story about how the business started, or maybe there's something unique about your business that other businesses in your field don't do. So what is unique, new, or newsworthy about your business or your story? We love stories from the beginning of time, right? And journalists are the same. You know, journalists are always thinking, what is going to be of interest to the larger population? Okay, what are their readers, listeners, or viewers going to be interested in? And so the more you can make your story relate to the wider population, the more the media are going to love you. And ideally, you want something with a date to point to, otherwise your story can get held over and over and over. So dates are really important, and also having enough time to approach the media. So you want to allow at least a month, ideally, before any event that you have on, of lead-in time where you can approach the media, particularly with weekly papers, magazines. Some magazines you'll need 3 to 6 months because some are quarterly magazines. However, a lot of magazines also have their online content, which you could get online if not in the printed edition. The W is working the angles. So this is really crucial. Once you know what you want to promote, working the different angles, seeing what kind of stories are currently out in the media on your topic. Maybe there's current stories out there that you might want to give opinion for follow-up stories. A lot of journalists will do follow-up stories on the same kind of topic, and they're looking for different experts to comment on that topic. E is for elevate your profile, and that's where you package up what you do, okay, with the press release, the visuals, and the pitch. And the visuals relate for radio, even though it's audio, radio put the stories up on their social media and on their website. So you need to always think visuals. TV, always looking for good visuals, right? They can use so much stock footage, but if you can give them some fresh footage, locally, particularly local news are always looking for things happening in the local area that are visual. And of course, newspapers, magazines, always looking for visual content. Great photos, great visuals, fun, exciting. The media don't just want to educate anymore, they want to entertain as well. So the more entertaining you can be and the more fun you can bring to it is fantastic. And contrary to popular belief, a lot of journalists want to do more positive stories. A lot of them that I speak to say, thank goodness, a positive story, thank goodness for this, right? They get very frustrated by the negativity themselves sometimes, right? So they want to hear more positive stories, particularly from the local community. And then S is startling the media. How can you get the media's attention? Now, PR king Richard Branson is perfect at this. He was brilliant. He dressed in a wedding dress to launch the Virgin Brides venture. He dressed in a spacesuit to launch Virgin Galactic. So he was willing to put himself out there and even look silly and, have a lot of fun. He dressed as a Zulu warrior to launch flights to South Africa. So what are you willing to do to put yourself out there, either yourself or other people, to get a photo shoot together or to get some good visuals together to represent what it is that you're doing for the world? Always own your power. Now, Foxy knows all about this. Owning your power, we did some Own Your Power events together. And own your power is having confidence and belief in yourself and toughening yourself to criticism. And this is something that if you are going to put yourself out in the media and you're going to lift your profile, it's very important that you stand in your truth. And the more you stand in your truth and the more you stand in your heart and in what you know to be right, it doesn't matter what other people think, right? So you really need to develop this strength about you, this strength of character. And it may involve doing some inner work. And of course, Sashua knows about this too, doing the inner work, right? Doing the inner work so that you can show up in a more powerful manner. And you really need to look at that stuff. Look at the traumas and the things from the past that maybe there's some things there that are in your subconscious that you're not aware of that need to be sorted, right? Not saying that there's anything wrong. It's just getting an awareness so that if you're being stopped in life and maybe you have fear around putting yourself out to the media, that fear will be coming from somewhere. So dealing with that fear, being able to conquer that fear, is important to do that inner work, whatever inner work that may be, right? There's a million different courses out there that you can do to own your power. Really crucial. So once you own your power, then you can master interviews, right? And at this point, there's certain things to do before, during, and after interviews, which I talk about in the Free Publicity Secrets workshop that I do. And it's really important here that you are specific and to the point, particularly if you're doing radio and TV interviews where you only have 3 to 5 minutes to get your message across. In TV news, even less. You have only 1 or 2 grabs will come out. So you need to be very specific and to the point with your grabs that you give and with your messaging when you come to do those interviews. And then exploding the impact. The E of the awesome is explode impact and making the most of the media coverage that you get so that you can really multiply the impact of that. So that is the journey there, the steps to getting publicity. And there's certain benefits that happen once you do that. You will achieve fame, and you might not want to be famous like Hugh Jackman, but famous in your industry. You could be known as an expert in your industry, and once you're known as an expert in your industry, what happens once you're known as an expert in your industry? Would anyone like to answer here on the live Zoom? What happens once you're the expert in your industry? What happens? What's the benefit for you?
People come to you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, people come to you, Foxy, exactly. So sure.
Yeah. People seek you out. They want your wisdom.
Exactly. People seek you out. So you now have attraction marketing happening, and you're able to charge more for what you do. you now have profile and branding to be able to charge more for your time, because you now have that credibility and authority out there because you have publicity. So you think of the Anthony Robbins of the world, Michelle Bridges in the health field, you know, these people have had massive publicity. Noel Whittaker in the finance area, you know, anyone who you think of as an expert right now in the industry, the only reason they're known as an expert is because they've put themselves out in the media where maybe you haven't, right? And really what they're sharing may not be really that much better than, you know, what you share, or, you know, that different. You know, you've probably got your own experiences you can share, but the fact is they have positioned themselves and packaged themselves up in such a way that the media have covered their stories as opposed to yours. So wherever you are, it's perfect, because it's never too late, right, to put yourself out there. And media, the good news is media often have several experts on their books. So if they can't reach the Anthony Robbins and Michelle Bridges of the world, then they will go to the second person or third person on their books in that field, right? And if it's local media, they will prefer local commentary. So that's really a powerful thing for you as well. And then freedom. Once you're charging more for what you do, you will be able to have more freedom, and you will be able to build your business and also leave a legacy. With every single media spot you get, you are leaving a legacy, which is so satisfying. I love seeing my clients in the media, and I'm very excited about all the amazing people I work with, and very grateful for you. Very grateful for you. Now, I do have free publicity secrets, as I mentioned. The workshop's coming up. Next one on January 23, 9 till 5 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Or if we have shorter breaks, we might finish a little bit earlier. But allow that time. It's a Saturday in less than 2 weeks' time from now. Free Publicity Secrets, absolutely free. You can register online on Eventbrite, or just look up Facebook, Free Publicity Secrets. It's also set up in Meetup. So we have Mass Media Tribe, we have the group in Facebook, and we have the Meetup group as well. So if you're on Meetup, please connect with us there as well. And on the Gold Coast, we have the Gold Coast Business Laughter Club Meetup as well. And we're planning to do a physical event this year for the Gold Coast Business Laughter Club. People are asking us, when are we going to have the next one? So we didn't have one at all last year. So we really want to get a physical meetup happening. And you might even see myself and Tracy Corman in our comedy duo. We've got a comedy duo called the Fiddly Gigglers. It's quite funny because I was introduced once at an event, and they said Aldwyn's in a comedy duo called the Fiddly Jigglers. That was quite hilarious. Anyway, so the Fiddly Gigglers, we do a really fun little act, myself and Tracy. So we'll be back for that one. And all the money from that event goes to the homeless and also to the animals. So Tracy's charity of choice is the Vinnie CEO Sleep Out, which she supports every year, helping the homeless. And I have a different animal cause that I support every year. And this year I'm going to carry on with the dogs for a little while until we do our next Animal Action Night event. And we're supporting at the moment the SEQ Canine Rescue, which is a charity based between the Gold Coast and Brisbane, which has saved 1,800 dogs from death row from council pounds across Australia in the last 4 years. And they have absolutely no government funding. Amazing charity that rehomes these dogs. So all the money from that goes to the different causes. And the Animal Action Events Night that we did, the 14th annual event, is streamed online. You can see it on the Animal Action Events Facebook page. Pinned to the top of the page is a 5-hour live stream. We had over 15 performers and speakers from all over the world that performed at this event. 5 hours, absolutely free. And we have a fundraising campaign on chuffed.org, which is linked on Animal Action Events, where you can donate to SEQ Canine Rescue. We're keeping that fundraiser open, and we have a whole lot of great prizes and gifts to give to people who do donate. So if that interests you, then check out Animal Action Events page on Facebook. We also have the Global Good News Challenge that continues every month. This is something I started in June 2020, and it was to help lift the vibration on the planet, help to lift people's spirits and share more gratitude. And it's a very simple challenge. Different challenges happen monthly. We've just had the January one, which was a 7-day challenge. We've got a 5-day challenge coming up for February, from February 1 till 5, 2021. So if you want to participate, all you do is you just do a simple Facebook Live. It doesn't have to be technical, just hold your phone up, do a Facebook Live and just share your name, what you do, 3 things you're grateful for, and a piece of good news. And the good news could be something about yourself, about someone you know. It could be something you've seen online. So it can be any good news. A lot of people share about what they're up to, about their businesses or happy clients, or, you know, can use it as a way to promote what you're doing as well and just to connect with people as well. It's amazing how powerful it is when you share gratitude verbally, not just write it down, but when you actually say it on a Facebook Live, it's very, very powerful. A lot of people doing these challenges in about 3 minutes. I tend to go on for about 10 to 15 minutes because I explain the background and all of that. But a lot of people do it in about 3 minutes. And just hashtag Global Good News Challenge. You can do the Facebook Live on your personal profile on Facebook or in the Loving Life group on Facebook. And if you didn't get all that, just go to Global Good News Challenge Facebook page, and pinned to the top of the page is all the details on how to participate. It's absolutely free. If you want more coaching on how to present to camera, that is available there for you. Just hashtag Global Good News Challenge, and everyone who participates, we add you to a private group as well, Global Good News Challenge group, so you can join the other good news crusaders across the world that are participating in this and want to see more good news and sick of all the negative news out there. So if that's you, be the change you want to see in the world, as Gandhi says, and participate in the Global Good News Challenge. It'd be great to have you there. My goal is to have 1,000 people do good news challenges by the 8th of the 8th this year. So we've got a bit of a ways to go. Okay, so if you're feeling called to this at all, it really is a fantastic way to connect with your people, and you know, and people are actually getting business out of it and all sorts of things. That, you know, just connecting, reaching out to people, and sharing gratitude. It's very, very powerful, simple and powerful. Okay, so this is the details again of the next Free Publicity Secrets Global Workshop, 9 till 5 Australian Eastern Standard Time. I invite you also to join our Mass Media Tribe group on Facebook and Meetup if you haven't already. Please join us over there at Meetup as well, meetup.com. And there's also a Mass Media Mastery Program. If you want to work closer with me, have a look on my website, aaexpos.com, and go to services and then Mass Media Mastery Program. I have that program up online. At the Free Publicity Secrets event, I have launched a new program as well, which is not up on my website. You can only access that by coming to a Free Publicity Secrets workshop. So if you do want to find out more about that, then you'll need to come along to a workshop. So I do have an offer there as well at the very end after all the content. And I know everyone who attended on the 9th, they took so many notes. Everyone I spoke to said they just had so many notes and their head was full of information, including Sasha here. So if you do come, you will learn a lot, okay, and have all your questions answered. So really look forward. I know there's a whole lot of people have already registered for the 23rd of January for our next event. So I look forward to seeing you there. And if you want to join us, just look up Free Publicity Secrets and you'll find us. The world is your oyster. Anything is possible for you. And this is my last slide here before we come over to Foxy. Shine bright. I believe in the power of one, and I believe in you. May your flame burn bright and light up all those around you. That is my wish for you. To your media success, anything is possible, and I'm here to support you, and we've got a great community of people here to support you as well. So thank you so much for that. Any questions, comments, ahas? I'll just stop my share there. So maybe I'll check in on Facebook as well. But what did you guys get out of that, Sasha? Sasha, I can see you're unmuted there.
Yeah, I guess what sunk in for me after doing the webinar on the weekend too is just that reminder of the X factor, is to find the X factor inside of us so that we can feel into the angles and what's newsworthy. And we've all got a story. We all have an individual story, and sometimes we underestimate what we've gone through, I think, or, you know, things that we have really accomplished. And so that's a really good reminder, is to think about it, because yeah, sometimes I tell my story and people go, wow, and I go, really? Like, it's just my story and you think it's normal, but yeah, so that was good.
Yeah, because we're too close to our own story generally to see what the gems of our story are. So it's really great now you're aware, Sasha, to keep your ear to the ground when people do say wow. Just make a note of what are they saying wow to, because as you say, you know, you might think, oh, well, I do that all the time. You know, that's You know, it's like when I was on Cartoon Connection at age 11, and I was so nervous in front of the camera when the TV host said, "Do not think about the 2 million people watching this right now." As I looked at the TV camera, I freaked out, right? But what I did do well is I played table tennis well. I just kept that forehand to forehand going with the table tennis table in the studio with my brother, and we did it all the time. I was like, well, this is easy, you know, keeping the ball on the table forehand to forehand. But it wowed them because they could probably hardly keep one ball on the table, yet alone just keep that ball going. So, you know, it's so true. We our genius we're so close to often that we just don't see it, and it's fantastic that you're noticing that, Sasha, and yeah, make a note of it. I suggest, you know, have a little journal even that you take around with you, and take little notes of, you know, what is it that makes people say wow about you, or what is it that makes you say wow? I mean, you might, you know, get conscious of some things, and you know, you might notice other people in your field don't do some things that you do, perhaps, you know. So there could be something unique there as well that other people in your industry might be interested in. So brilliant, Sasha. And what about you, Foxy? What did you get out of that?
Yeah, so pretty much what Sasha got as well is just when you downplay your own genius and you just go, oh, you know, like, yeah, everyone knows this stuff. But to see you, you know, you've known media for so long, and I'm sure you're the biggest promoter that I know. Like, you don't miss a beat on promoting anything. Like, and it's awesome to see. It's like, I can learn from that. Like, you know, it's okay to keep promoting. Like, it's okay to share what you've got. So yeah, like it was really good just to, yeah, it was awesome just to see you there, and all the things that, you know, like an overview of what you offer there. It's pretty amazing, absolutely amazing, what you offer. So
thank you, Foxy. Well, I'm not married and have no children, and so I have a bit of spare time on my hands, and I've been a bit of a workaholic most of my life. My cat is very low maintenance. I have looked after a cat for 11 years. I've been committed to my cat. I don't have commitment issues. I've committed to my cat for 11 years. I've attended 3 landmark commitment seminars and 3 relationship seminars, and you know, it's a work in progress. It's all a work in progress. Oh, so thank you, Foxy. Yes, I'm a little bit ambitious, and I have visions to change the world, right? Change the world. And I think, you know, as Margaret Mead said, a small group of thoughtful people can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. Is that a great quote? I love that.
So true.
So thank you very much for your kind comments. Glad you got some things out of it. And if you're watching this on Facebook too, pop into the comments. What are you getting? If you have any questions, pop in there. If you want to join us on the live Zoom so you have a chance to win some prizes, then come along. The Eventbrite registrations are open for about another hour or so. So you can register on Eventbrite, or just go to the direct Zoom link that I have shared on Facebook, on my profile, and also in the Loving Life group and the Mass Media Tribe group. The link is there to join us on the live Zoom. All right, Foxy, I'm going to introduce you now, and then we can have you share your screen, or you can share your screen now if you like, while I'm introducing you. So it's with great pleasure now that I introduce our guest speaker for tonight's topic, which is Turbocharge Your Life in 2021. Now, Foxxy Eleoyze is affectionately known as the Empowerment Sage. She's an intuitive facilitator, master results coach, NLP and hypnosis trainer. She's a neurological therapist, a pranic and lightwave energy worker, artistic creator, keynote speaker, and soon-to-be author. Now, Foxy created the 9 archetypes of your inner power to help her clients connect into their body, integrate their emotions, and strengthen their intuition, so they have greater confidence to easily move through any difficult situation they may find themselves in. She prides herself as an out-of-the-box facilitator, creating fun and playful experiential journeys that are deeply and profoundly transformational, seeing the clients she works with grow and flourish in their relationships, business, and personal life. Please welcome to the Zoom stage, Foxxy Eleoyze, the Empowerment Sage. Yay, over to you, Foxy.
Well, thank you for that amazing introduction. You can hear me okay? I'm not on mute.
Yes, yeah, you're all good. We can see you and hear you. Yeah.
So I work with my partner, with people in relationship as well. So I work with the women and my partner works with couples. So we kind of like work together. Sometimes we don't work together so good, but that's what relationships are about. So this one here is how you can turbocharge your life in 2021. So we'll dive straight in. How's that?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So as I go along, I like interaction. So if you have any questions or anything that comes up for you, feel free to say something. So what you think is what affects what you feel, and what you feel affects what you think, and what you think and feel affects how you act. Which is interesting. So chances are, if this is happening for you, if you're experiencing that you're having lack of focus, things going on, you're time poor, you often feel like you're spinning the wheels, you're not clear on your priorities, you can't get enough clients, you struggle with cash flow, asking for what you're worth, you're feeling invisible, not knowing for what you do, like you have a story but no one knows about it, no one sees you. If you're struggling with technology, social media, you're procrastinating, not taking action, all of these things, feeling frustrated, you are not living in your power. You are not turbocharged. So I'm just going to ask you just to put away distractions and be open to a new way of thinking, because this took me a long time to learn. And I thought I was on a certain path of how I should do things, and then realized that there was more. And so I just ask you to open your mind to what's going on for you, because this will make a huge difference. If any of those things on the previous screen apply to you, then this will definitely help you. So Albert Einstein says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. How many times do we do that? Come on, put your hand up. I'm guilty. So in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can turbocharge your life and beyond by changing that, not doing the same thing over and over. So my intention is to give you as much as I can in this time that I've got with you. And if you want to continue to work with me, yeah, you can reach out to me at the end. So being on turbocharge means that you have a clear focus, that you're feeling calm and centered in your body, you're relaxed, you're not stressed out, going, trying to get things done. You know who you are and what you stand for. Okay, so you have that confidence within yourself, and you're living life as you desire. Like life is happening around you the way that you create it, the way that you want it to be created. And you're feeling good about yourself, and you're being at ease with yourself and others, and you're believing in yourself with strong boundaries. So I do have a surprise for you at the end, so stick around. So here is 5 simple secrets to turbocharge your life. And I've put these together from all the things that I have done in my life, the experience that I've had, and also the things that I've learned along the way, to make it simple for you just to turn your life around. This is Susan, who came along to me. She was feeling quite stuck. She was a very businesswoman that was very driven to get results. And she was kind of afraid to feel what was going on for her. But after doing some work with me, feeling into what was going on for her, she actually went out the very next day and made some sales in her business that she normally probably wouldn't have done. So the first thing is to have awareness. So awareness to the path is the pathway to transformation. So for what Susan needed to do is she needed to have more awareness of where she was feeling stuck. And it's through our body that we can experience more life. So this is what I'm calling the paradigm shift. So oftentimes, especially when you're career orientated and business orientated, that you want to move ahead and you feel that you've got to do it from your headspace. But in reality, if we listen more to our body, then we're going to experience more of that of life and really move things along a whole lot quicker than we normally would. So if that's the case, how about we understand a little bit about the body? So we have our physical body, and then we have our mental body around us. We have our emotional body, and we have what we call an energy body around us. And we need to work with all of these. So energy is everything. So thoughts and beliefs are decisions that we make based on what we've learned from parents, from society, from media, things that we've taken on. And our hurts or traumas, unprocessed or unfelt emotion or vibration, that's what stays in our body in an energetic form and stays there. So unless we've actually know what that is and work through that, it stays in our body. And that's when you feel stuck. That gives you that feeling of going, oh, things are not working. Does anyone relate to that?
Yes. Yes, I relate. Yes. And I'm sure there's people watching on Facebook Live now. Kerry, Joy, Sargun, Betty, Christiane V. Can you relate to that? Just pop a yes into the chat if you're watching this on Facebook, or for others who are watching this on Facebook or elsewhere. Come and join us on the Zoom, of course. We have the Zoom link there. Or just pop into the chat in Facebook. I'm watching the Mass Media Tribe group chat here. So if you are watching, love to hear from you.
Yeah, so if you've got any questions, feel free to ask along the way. I'm happy to answer them. So where we learn these things is in our formative years. So this is kind of like our programming between when we are an embryo to right through the when we're age 7 to 9. That is when we make a lot of decisions and we learn how to react. And oftentimes that the way we learn to react as a small child doesn't serve us for the rest of our life, but the things we continue to live out of this space. So the first thing that we need to be aware of is just to be aware of what are your thoughts and your feelings. Okay, so bringing the unconscious things, the things that we learned as a small child, to our conscious awareness. So the next one is acknowledging, so that along the path. And this is what we all do, especially like when we're working with couples in relationship, is denying, suppressing what is actually going on. How many times do we do that? Like on a surface level, we think that we're dealing with it. So for example, you're stressed out and, over the finances or something's not working for you and you think that you're dealing with it. How many, hands up, how many think that? Like, yeah, you feel that you think that you're dealing with it. But in reality, we're pushing through and we're not listening to our body because we're in this headspace that we're constantly going, I'm going to get through this. But our body's going, no, this doesn't feel right. And that's what we're denying, and that's what we're suppressing, and that's what gets stuck energetically in our body. Is this making sense?
Yes, it's making sense.
Cool. So oftentimes we give our power away by looking outside of ourselves. So for example, you look in the mirror and you see, oh, there's some sunglasses on. I'm going to try and take them off the mirror. But in actual fact, the sunglasses are on our own face. So what we see outside of us is a reflection of us. So if we're trying to change something around us, it's actually us that we need to change first. And by going into our body, we will find the answers there. So for me, I wasn't in my power about 9-10 years ago. I remember sitting in my house. I was single woman. My children had left home. I was in the early days of getting my business off the ground, and I was just down. I was just going, life is suck. Like that, and I couldn't motivate myself to do anything. I just thought I hardly wanted to even get out of bed, and I really had to push myself just to do anything. And I just was just all in my head, like life is not happening for me. I didn't know what I know now back then. So what was happening for me was, as I was programmed as a young child, a young infant, my mother was a manic depressive, bipolar, schizophrenia, and living with a mother like that, I had to learn to adapt. And the way that I learned to adapt was simply shut down and not put my head up and be seen or speak up, because if I did, I would get shut down. Now, I don't know if you've ever been around someone that's very manic and not on medication. I remember seeing my mother in my adult years when she wasn't on medication, and she was scary. I wanted to run. In fact, I did. I ran. And me as a young child, I had nowhere to run. So I had to learn to adapt. And I remember growing up extremely shy, extremely withdrawn. I was a shadow of people around me. I didn't speak up. I was scared of everything, just very different to what I am today. And then to make matters worse, my parents divorced when I was 12, and then my dad remarried, and I inherited some new brothers and sisters. There's me at the top. And we became involved in a very strict religious environment. So therefore, my world became even smaller because we only associated within the church. And a lot of decisions I made was just simply based on that religious belief as well. So one of those beliefs was I was not allowed to express myself, because I loved to move and dance my body, especially when I was a young child. And I wasn't allowed. I felt bad when I did that. I felt shame around that. So I wanted to learn jazz, but instead of learning jazz, I went and did ballroom, because that was a bit better than jazz in my world. So what I did is I took all these layers of baggage, all these thoughts and beliefs and hurts, and I just carried them all. I remember thinking life's getting more suck. The older you get, the worse it becomes. That's the kind of attitude I had. It's like, life isn't fun so more anymore. How many relate to that? Like, do you ever have a point in your life where you think, oh, life is just getting worse?
There's been times, yes.
Yeah, I get that.
Especially in some areas. Some areas have been more challenging than others. Like relationships for me have been really challenging.
Yeah. You go, well, when am I ever going to get through this? When is it I'm going to meet someone that's amazing? Like,
yeah,
all of this. Yeah, I get that. So the key learning here is to acknowledge what's going on. Okay. A problem well stated is a problem half solved. So really acknowledging exactly what is happening will help you move through that. That's within yourself to change. So the next one then is to accept what's going on. So as Christiane Northrup said, she says, we're all given crap, okay? We all have things that happen to us that we did not see coming. And we all had things happen in our childhood or somewhere along the line, we got hurt. And what do we do with it? We need to learn from it and create something better. So I say is to turn your crap into gold. How do we do that? So we have two choices in life. If you don't like it, change it. You say, well, what if I can't change it? Well, if you can't change it, accept it. Now that might seem pretty tough. I remember I just separated from my husband in my early 30s, and my life circumstances were suck. Now, to make things worse, my ex-husband took my 3 children 1,600 k's away from me. So without my consent, he moved them way down from Queensland to Victoria. And what do? I had 2 choices. I fight him and try and change it, or I accept it. So as much as it ripped my heart out, I thought, what's best for the children at that time? So I accepted that he had custody of the children at that time, and I made the best of it. It's the only way through. Did you agree with me? Like, am I making sense?
Yes, you're making sense, Foxy. How are you finding it, Christiane? Welcome, Christiane. Nice.
Yeah,
Just
welcome.
unmute yourself.
Hi, how you girls?
Hello, hello.
How you going?
Good.
Excellent. And
Yeah,
Christiane and I.
we've all gone through really tough times, hey, and sometimes we feel like we'll never get anywhere. But yeah, I think I do hear you when you say connecting with yourself. So we really have to go within, haven't we? That's where we find the answers.
Yes, exactly. And Christiane has spoken about Own Your Power at some of my How to Gain $1 Million worth of free publicity workshops as well. So we're all enlightened in this Own Your Power area, and all coaches have coaches, right? So you never learn less in this field, and we all bring our own flavor to owning your power. And today's topic, of course, turbocharge your life in 2021. So fantastic to have you, Christiane. And Sashua has apologized. She said the internet kept cutting out. So she was only picking up every few words. So she apologizes. She had to hop off. And thank you to everyone watching on Facebook right now. I can see a few of you watching the recording of this, or the live stream. We will be going for about another at least 45 minutes or so. So if you do want to join us on the live Zoom, the Zoom link is online. You can come and join us on the Zoom at any point in the next 45 minutes. If you want to come and say hello. All right, back to you, Foxy.
Thank you. So I went from here, I went on a personal development journey because I realized that my life was not working the way that I wanted to. My children were in the custody of my ex-husband, and I found myself going from boyfriend to boyfriend, kind of trying to sort of like fill that void, that gap within myself that I couldn't give to myself. So I just went out there and learned everything I possibly could on anything that I felt pulled towards. So I became a master results coach. I've done nonviolent communication. I'm a new NLP trainer, and I did so many different things. But the thing is, even I'd done all that, things were still not quite working. And I realized that there was more. So then I looked to the healing modalities. So I became a medical intuitive. I did DeMartini. I did access consciousness. I did Lightwave and did Healing Life's Hurts. And I realized that going into the body is where we need to start to heal. Feeling is healing. So how I describe it is like, when we don't feel, it's like stuffing everything into a cupboard. When we don't allow ourselves to go there and really notice what's going on, when we try and plow through and try to make things happen, that's when we suppress everything. So really pull back and go, hang on a minute, what's in the cupboard? How many skeletons do you have in the cupboard there? So when you open up the cupboard, you realize that you've stuffed a lot of stuff in there over the years and it looks like a mess. So when we start looking at our emotions, we realize that they're all in there, they're everywhere. And even the ones that we do want to feel, things like joy, we can't even feel that because we've got so many things we've just simply shut down. And I was super good at this. And I remember feeling like I did a lot of inner healing work and I couldn't feel any joy. I could not even reference any time in my life where I really felt happy. really, really happy, like just to feel that spark of joy within myself. I couldn't find it. Even though I had many happy things happen in my life and good things, but there was no real joy in there. Does anyone relate to that? Does anyone know of other people that happens to?
Yes. Yeah, no one on this Zoom room, of course, but people out in the world. This happens to them all the time. I'm just kidding.
No, it's true. I mean, it's just it's within us, and when we stuff everything in, we can't feel the things that we want to feel. So in the Johari window, if we have a look at how this explains it, is there's things that we know about ourselves, and the other people know about us. So as far as what other people knew about me was very little, because I had a very closed world. You weren't coming near me. Like, I wasn't going to reveal too much to you. I was a real closed book. And did I know much about myself? Probably not. And then there's the hidden self. So there's things that I definitely had a lot of stuff that I knew about myself, and I definitely didn't let other people know about. That was I really had my walls up. And then there was things that other people could see about me, but I had no idea about myself. Like, how angry was I towards my ex? I didn't see that. Like, I always just thought he was all the one that was wrong. Like, and I was so angry, but others could see that. But do you think I could? No. And then there's the mystery self. So the things that we don't even know about ourselves, and other people don't know that either. So what we got to do is we need to bring and open ourselves up more of the things that feel vulnerable, to share those things. And then open up to the possibility perhaps you need to change, that you're blinded to. And then open up to more of that's what's inside of you, so you can become more expanded, more freer, more lighter, and what we call more turbocharged, in the way that we're completely centered and grounded, and to be able to just move through life with ease rather than feel like it's an effort. So what's standing in your way? I'd love to know what's standing in your way. What are the things what's the roadblocks for you right now? So you might have a story that you think, oh, I want to get out there, but then you go, who am I to tell my story? Like, who am I to put myself out there? There's so many other people better than me. Or you can feel like, I can do everything myself. I don't need any help. I don't need anyone else. I don't need a coach. I don't need someone else in my life. I can stay single all my life. What is it for you? Or perhaps you are with a partner and you blame them because they're stopping you from doing things. Or now's not the right time. The children haven't left home yet. Or wait till the kids go back to school. Or there's always something there. Or you don't have the money. That's a big one. Stopping by believing that you don't have the money. So does anyone relate to any of things? They even have some blockages coming up for them.
Yeah, I know I've had fear of intimacy with men, and I know I've had commitment issues because of certain trauma in the past. And even though I feel that I've dealt with a lot of that trauma, I'm always open to looking at maybe there's extra levels and extra work to be done around some of the trauma I've had around relationships in the past. And so I know that comes up for me, is that fear of intimacy and fear of getting hurt in relationships.
Absolutely. And it does stop you from moving on, because when you put up that fear, that barrier, that defense, it deflects anything else coming close to you. So until we can actually work through that barrier that we feel within ourselves, and then we put up that wall, and I was very good at that, nothing's going to change until we can actually address that. So a way to do that, and this is a process that you can do, is just simply, I can walk through it quickly with you now. If you just want to just take a big breath into your body, close your eyes, and just breathe in and release. And then just allow your body just to relax and just notice if there's any tension there. Just consciously just let your body go and relax. And then start tuning into any physical sensations that are going on in your body. Where is it aching? Where is it tingling? Where is it feeling warm? Where is it feeling numb? Any physical sensations. And you'll notice that there's probably something bigger than others. It might be in your stomach, it might be in your head, it might be in your back. Where is that in your body? What's the one that's really sort of standing out for you? And I just want you to hone in on that particular feeling, that physical feeling. So it could be feeling like a heaviness or a pain or something like that. And just notice as you tune into that part of your body, what comes up for you when you tune up into that? Is there any emotions or any thoughts come up? And I'm going through this fairly quick, so it's a process that you probably want to go away and do a little bit slower, but here's the basics of it. And then just be with those sensations. So once you feel into that, just be with that and not try and push it away or hold on to it, but just allow it to be. And in time, it might shift real quick. It might just go. It might need a little bit of a hand to move on. But it's there to teach you something. It's there to tell you something, that something in your life is not in alignment. So does anyone want to share what happened for them? Did you have a quick feel into your body? Anything come up for you?
I felt stiff around my shoulders and around my neck. I just felt really stiff around there. Me. What about you, Christiane? Do you want to share? Christiane, you're just muted at the moment. I think she's got her eyes closed.
Hi. I probably wasn't tuning with, exactly what I'm feeling and dealing with. Probably because I like to work one-on-one, if you know what I mean,
Right.
and really connect. So, and then at that point, really being very relaxed and just like feeling. But I think the procedure is very good to be able to connect inward and really tap onto what is it that's nagging. And because the body always shows it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And that process is really good to do, like perhaps over 10, 15 minutes or even longer if you want. But that was just basically the stepping through. So.
And Foxy, is that something that's good to do, like lying down, sitting up? What's the best way to do that, do you think?
For me, I do it in bed, or you could sit down, up. You could be sitting at your computer. You could be anywhere. Even driving a car. But the thing is, if you're concentrating on something else, it's a lot more difficult. So ideally, when you're learning to do this, just to focus on that one thing, to be in a place where you don't have to concentrate on something else. So I do it in bed. Wherever you feel comfortable. Yeah.
Okay.
So
great.
Yeah. So the key point here is acceptance is owning what you think and feel. So it's just simply realizing that it's your stuff that's going up here. And when we realize that we do own this reaction, then we have a power of choice. I hope that makes sense, because and this is really important, because oftentimes we immediately try and blame someone else or project what's going on for us onto someone else. So the next time that you feel like you want to blame someone or blame something, turn it around and go, where do I do that? And you might be surprised at the answers that come up. And sometimes it's hard. I'm going, I don't do that. Try it. See how you go. The next one's alignment. So being in alignment. So what that means is when we are in alignment, so doing those first 3 steps, we now can be in our power. Okay, and that is when you can actually turbocharge your life and move yourself, manifest the things that you want to manifest, is when we are standing true to ourselves. So that also means that we don't get reactive and we don't get triggered by other things and other things around us, but realize that we manifest and we are creators. And no one else can make you feel anything. Whoa. No one else can make you feel anything. So they could do whatever they do. Like, I'm okay, physically, okay, so if they hit you, whatever, you're going to feel whatever's going on. But what I'm talking about is emotionally. So if someone says something to you and you get hurt, that's your hurt and that's your feeling. And they could say it into you in a way of love, or they could say it to you in a way of being nasty. It doesn't matter how they've said it to you, it's how you react to what's around you. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. How you respond.
Yeah. So oftentimes we see life in black and white. So we see things as good and see things as bad. You know, there's things we like to have pleasure, but we don't want to feel pain. We want to feel the joy, but we don't want to feel sorrow. There's things that we like and there's things that we don't want to like. You know, we don't want to be around that. Then there's happiness. We want to feel happiness, but we don't want to feel sadness. So as soon as we judge things as good and bad, then we stop the flow. That's when we start going out of balance. Is when we don't allow ourselves to go to what we label things as bad. Because oftentimes those things that we label as bad are great indicators to us of what is out of alignment, and we're not listening to it. So it's like having a spinning top. Half of it's painted white and half of it's painted black. And if you spin it really fast, what color is it? It's gray. So everything merges together. Everything works together. It's like the yin and the yang. Everything's a duality, and we need to embrace both, if that makes sense. So it's like embracing the good girl or the good boy, embracing the bad girl, the bad boy. If we embrace all of that, how cool would that be? So this is for me, like growing up in a religious environment. Once the church disintegrated in my 30s, it opened up the doorway for me to step into that bad girl of becoming an exotic dancer, because that was wrong. That was shameful. That was just not the thing to do. But now my belief system wasn't there that it was so bad. Although I did carry a lot of shame and guilt for a long time. Even when I worked as a dancer, I had to work through that and face those demons within myself of, I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. So along the way, being a dancer, I entered a competition and I won an award with the most sex appeal. Now, the things I like about that award is because it demonstrated that it was more than just about my body. It wasn't because of my physical looks. There's a lot of girls out of there way better than me in looks. But the thing is, I could portray that confidence, that sensuality, that sexiness through my whole being. And that's what they saw. And that's what I was thought, yeah, I'm pretty damn sexy. So I turned what I thought was bad into gold. Okay, so that part of that people would label, you shouldn't do, you shouldn't be a dancer, you shouldn't be like that. I embraced it. That was actually my gold. And even today, and that's why I'm very here right today, is because this is my gold. And this is something that I've shoved under the carpet, and I've dismissed, and I've tried not to, I've pushed away and think, no, I don't want to do that. It's wrong. Can't do that. Or I didn't see the value in it. And it's not until I embraced what I thought was the worst part of me that things started to transform. I mean, this is why I'm here with Aldwyn, right? Okay. She says, reclaim your sass. Heck yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was great. I love that sensual dancing we did at the retreat. It was awesome.
Absolutely. And there's so many people like that. They go, yes, I'm in there. And they go, really? It's like, oh, whatever.
all our repressed sensuality, needs to come out.
Absolutely. We have been so repressed, especially as women. Like it's been shut down on us. Remember I was saying, carrying all that baggage, all that layers, all this past society, belief systems from generations before. We're still carrying all this heavy, heavy weight. And until we turn and look into it, we're not going to transform that. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So exactly, to turbocharge your life is your body is a shortcut to emotional healing, as Eckhart Tolle says. It's through our body that we learn so much about ourselves. So this is when I worked as a dancer. I created what I call the 9 archetypes of your inner power. So in a sense, that's kind of like behaviors or traits of what did it take to be able to actually be a dancer? What did it actually mean? So it took me about 18 months to create these archetypes. And I looked at all the different types of archetypes and I thought, no, that doesn't feel right. I wanted something that would help people, because what happened along the line is more and more women would come into the club over the 17 years that I worked as a dancer. And they said to me, I wish I could do what you do. And it wasn't because they wanted to be a dancer. They wanted the confidence. They wanted the ability to express themselves through their body. And they felt so much shame around that. And I definitely know this came up, even the retreat that we just ran, as you remember, Aldwyn, there's women there that just felt so shamed and shut down. As soon as they started moving their body sensually, all of this stuff comes up, because we've held this trauma within our body. And as soon as we try and move it, it goes, oh, this doesn't feel right. This feels awful, But the thing is when we move through that we actually start to feel inner power. And I don't know how to describe it, except it's kind of like, how do you describe having an orgasm unless you actually have one? So it's experiencing that. And that's why I created the 9 archetypes. So there's the free spirit, there's a warrior, there's a contender, there's the pal, there's the enchantress, there's the nurturer, there's the dominatrix, the virginal, and the mysterious. Okay. And each one of these represents a part of ourselves that perhaps we've shut down. So some of these here that you'll probably feel like you want to express, you'll express easily and go, yeah, this is easy. And there's some of these ones you'll go, whoa, not going there. This doesn't feel right. Okay, this is wrong. It's those parts that we've labeled wrong and bad. That's when we can actually start to shift this energy and embrace all of ourselves and become more whole and more lighter and more freer and able to move through life with ease. Makes sense. Now, of course, on the archetypes, there's the shadow types. I just wanted to show you here, just so you know that there is a kind of thing. What happens when you're not embracing your free spirit? How are you showing up in life? So I found the courage when I started working as a dancer. I was working as a dancer, but I wanted to, these women were coming to me and wanting to know more. So I found the courage to put myself out there and share my story. So I went along to the bulletin and they were pleased to run my story. So I had to go and get a photo shoot, and I had a story to share. So I actually entered a competition. This was Miss Australia, Miss Queensland Burlesque. And yeah, so I kind of stepped into my power in that way. And from that article, I got my first business client. How cool is that? She rang me up, she saw the article and says, hey, can I work with you? And I go, well, sure. I didn't have anything to give her, but I just made something up. Like I just ran a workshop. So, and what she learned from that is she realized she could express herself through her body, because she was like so many women out there that were just so in their heads, so driven, what they call masculine energy, to really drive things through, and things just don't feel right. And she knew there was something more that she needed to express herself with, and she didn't realize it was through her body, which gave her a whole lot more power and confidence and joy in being a female. So so media led to more media. So then I ended up going all over the place and doing more articles, more shows and things like that, and going to the media and getting that out there, and running events for women, to fundraising events and inspiring women, and out there with my husband as well, getting him putting a wedding dress on, just for workshops, that I've run. As you see, I like dressing up. So the key learning here, alignment, is when we're congruent with our head, our heart, and our gut. Okay, when we're totally in alignment and we're embracing all those bad parts of ours and not labeling that and looking at that, is when we become more alignment. And you can move forward. And don't forget about, so there is a surprise at the end. I've got something to share with you if you're sticking around. And the last one is being accountable. Now, this is probably the most important one here, is 93% of people fail without support. That is a staggering statistic. It was run by the Stanford Business a coaching survey of people that wanted to succeed, especially in business. They didn't get there unless they had a coach. And as you said, Aldwyn, before, coaches need coaches. We all need someone else to show us the ropes of what we don't know. We have our genius zone, but we also have the zones that we don't know. And it's getting help in those areas that will help us move forward to success. So what happened for Susan is helping her move through to get in touch with her body, move through those emotions that she'd been shut down, helped her connect with her clients in her workshop, and she was able to sell more of her program after it, the very next day after doing a workshop with me. So she was someone that turned her crap into gold. So the key learning here, accountability, to make is making sure that you stay true to yourself. So you say, yes, I'm going to do something. How many times do you go out there and say, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to turbocharge my life in 2021. And we fall down. True. We go out there and then we fall down. So it's having someone that will help pick you up and make sure that you stay on track. So you're turning that self-sabotage into self-empowerment. So there you have the 5 secret steps. Awareness, acknowledgement, acceptance, alignment, and accountability. So the things that I have gone through here is the real problem, just so I can just recap what we've gone through. The real problem is not outside of you. It's inside of ourselves. It's in our body. If we react out of autopilot, that means we're reacting out of our conditioning, not out of choice. And that's when we feel like things are not happening. That's when you feel things are stuck. When we can own both parts of ours, the good, the bad, that's when you really step into your power. And the shortcut to emotional healing is through our body, listening to our body. And guess what? We're all in this together. Okay. So how cool is it when you actually jump on board with someone else and make the journey so much easier? having that help. Even doing this presentation here now, just jumping on with you, Aldwyn, it's just been amazing. Just when we support each other, it's so much more fun. Absolutely.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you. So this is Jessie. She came to me and did some sessions with me. Now, if you knew Jessie's story, she was so shut down in her early childhood. Her story is absolutely horrific. And just working through what was going on for her, you really do. You change on a cellular level. Like you change the physicality of what's going on in your body. When you shift that emotion, it doesn't become physical. So you know how you get aches and pains? We blame on all sorts of things. It's because the emotion is stuck in our body. So no one else has what you've got, okay? So no one else has got your voice, your story, your mind, your vision. So I'm saying to you, go out there, draw, play, dance, move, live, teach, do as only you can do in your own unique way, lifting off all those layers. So there's a lot of information I've covered here. And if you want to have an easy way to go through this, feel free to reach out to me. I don't know if you want to type that into the chat. I could probably do it myself. Just jump on a call with me.
I'll type it in, and I'll type it in on Facebook as well for those watching on Facebook. Yep, I'll do that. And any questions anyone has at this stage, please pop them in the chat.
Also, if for sticking around, I'm going to give you, like, there's a checklist, the 9 archetypes. So if you're wondering if you are really in your power, this is a great checklist. It only takes you a few minutes to do. Highly recommend download it and just check out, are you really living up to being all of you? And this will be a quick assessment of seeing, maybe there's some areas that you need to work on. It's quite eye-opening. So feel free to have a look at that. And thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to hand it back to you, Aldwyn.
Thank you, Foxy. Yay, that was awesome. Loved it. Loved it. Thank you so much, Foxy. Always learn something when you present. And it's interesting, you know, we can hear similar presentations and we always pick up something else. So you never learn less, right? Never learn less. Thank you so much, Foxy. That was awesome. And Foxy has other courses and things as well that she does. So reach out to her. The Reclaim Your SaaS retreat is amazing. I know it was transformational for the ladies that attended. It was about 10 people at the retreat in Mudgeeraba, and it was brilliant. So can't wait for your next one, Foxy. And I'm sure we'll be doing lots more together as well moving forward. And thank you to everyone who's watching on Facebook, wherever you are right now. Pop some comments in. What did you get out of Foxy's session there? And any questions at all, pop them in the chat. I'm monitoring the chat on the Mass Media Tribe group on Facebook, and also the chat here on the live Zoom. And we will have some giveaways shortly. Christiane, I'd love to hear from you. What did you get out of that?
Yeah, some really good stuff, and I think it would be good to, just listening to what Fox has done. I think she's got a lot to offer, and I believe her retreats would be really good. So Foxy, do you do a lot of dancing in your retreats?
Do I do a lot of dancing, Aldwyn?
Well, there was some dancing. I mean, the Friday night session was dancing. That was a full dance session. And then there was a little bit over the weekend as well, but it wasn't all dancing. There was some, definitely the Friday night was a specific dance night. And then there was some elements in the weekend where there was dancing, but it definitely wasn't the whole point. But it, you know, moving the body was a big part of it. How we move the body and how we feel in our bodies. That was something big that I got out of it. And it was interesting that, you know, we did some sensual dancing at one point, and Foxxy pretty much did a whole routine, which was unbelievable. You're very experienced, Foxxy. I love seeing you move there and how you were doing that. And some people were really confronted by it, which is interesting, right? So, things were coming up for people as we're moving our body and as we're doing, different exercises, without giving too much away about the weekend. Actually, Foxxy, you could probably explain it better, what you want to share about the weekend. Maybe you could explain more about it.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm running a evening called Reclaim Your Sass, similar to what we did on the Friday night of the retreat, is where if you're wanting to know more, you can actually come along to that. Bring a plate to share. It's just going to be a fun evening where we can connect and hang out. So we have a circle at the beginning and just share what's going on for us, and we do some movement. And we dance, okay? And we make up a routine together, and then we look at it on video back. And all of this process helps us go, whoa, where am I judging myself? Where am I feeling awkward? And it really helps us just really hone in, like, how are we holding ourselves back? So that's a really fun evening. If you want to know more about what I do, and if you feel like you want to, perhaps come to the longer retreat, that's a really good introduction, just to have a taste and have a fun evening. That's what I'm about, is make sure that you have fun and it's enjoyable. Yeah, and connecting. Like, I remember you say, Aldwyn, that you've got new sisters now.
Yes, it really felt like that, because I never had sisters. I've got one older brother, and I always wondered what it'd be like to have sisters. And it really felt like amazing connections were created, and it felt like I had some new sisters. We all had each other's back, and just a beautiful, safe, sharing space of sisterhood. Just as men, I think, also need their time together, like in the old tribal days when women have their time together, men have their time together, then they all come together. I think it's important that we have time with our sisters, and that we share, what it's like being a woman, and, all the different, stigmas and judgments and things that we can face when we step into our sensuality and our sassiness as women,
Absolutely.
It's really interesting.
And it does, yeah. It's like it creates a real deeper space of connecting with other women.
Yeah.
I'm amazed, just to see the connections that are made. You can just tell it's beautiful. It's like it's really deep connections.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. So I highly recommend it if you can get along to Foxxy's evening that she's doing, and connect on lovelifematters.com.au. I put the link into the chat under the Mass Media Tribe group on Facebook under the live replay. You will see in the comments, you'll see the link there where you can have a look also at the 9 archetypes, which are fascinating as well. So booking a call with Foxxy, that would be wonderful. We do have some giveaways for people on the live Zoom, but of course we've only got a few of us today, so people need to be on the live Zoom to win something. So it looks like we'll be sharing the love amongst us tonight, of the 3 ladies here. People must still be on holidays. I don't know what's going on. I know there's a few people watching on Facebook, but this is unusual. Normally we have more people to the Mass Media Tribe meetup. So I don't know what you're doing. If you're watching this right now, watching the replay, what are you doing tonight? And why aren't you here with us on the Zoom? Have you been out shopping, or have you been out doing some sassy dancing perhaps in your lounge room? What are you up to out there? Love to hear from you. Now, so we will go to the giveaways shortly. Christiane, is there anything else you wanted to ask Foxxy, or anything else you got out of it you want to share?
Yes, so I also wanted to know, what else does Foxxy have to offer? Like, I think she said she's got retreats. And what else do? You do one-on-ones? Are you a coach? I just want to be clear on what kind of service, or what else you have. You got workshops. So I think I just want to know all these things to know what I can tap into. For example, if I wanted to connect with you and do any of the things that you do?
Thanks for asking that, Christiane. And that's why I make that call available. So because I offer quite a bit, and not only just what I do, but also what I do with my partner, Robert. So it's based around developing more confidence, more self-esteem, more self-worth, self-love, which is usually reflected in our relationships. So if you're struggling in any area in relationships with anyone, it's oftentimes the way that we feel about ourselves, and that is a perfect reflection. So I run a program, an 8-week program. So that's an 8-week course, which Aldwyn's been doing. And I do one-on-one coaching.
So is that for couples or just single?
For both. So I work with women as well. So women, and then Robert, my partner, he works with, we work with couples as well, or people in relationship. So that's men and women. So that's on an individual basis, and that's on a couple basis. So that's what I said. If you jump on a call, then I can sort of figure out what is it that you're really needing and wanting, and how we could perhaps move you forward. So whatever's coming up for you. So it's a free call. So there's no harm in having a chat, just so I can hone in and just find out exactly what you're needing, so they can recommend where to go. But yeah, definitely, like, we have a couples course as well, that working with couples and working through that. And there's the counseling sessions as well, the one-on-one counseling, and also there's a group one. I'm running a free event coming up called Relationships Raw and Real as well. So that will be a Saturday night. What else do you do on a Saturday night? Is you can just come and hang out on the couch and let it all hang out. All those things that you sweep under the carpet, you can ask questions around your relationships, things that you're too scared of to ask, or the things that lots of people face.
We'll be discussing that.
That's for anyone.
Okay. Yeah. And so this is this, you said you're having it on a Saturday night, and have you got any dates on that?
Yes, I've just put an event out, so I can invite you to that. It's on the 23rd, Saturday night, the 23rd. Yeah, awesome. It's 6 o'clock for an hour. Yeah. It's just for an hour.
Well, that's perfect. You can come to my free publicity secrets workshop through the day from 9 to 5, and then we go to Foxxy's event at night. Perfect.
Absolutely. Yeah, sit on the couch and chill out and ask your questions anonymously. So no one's going to know who's asking the questions, because there's usually generally unfortunately, a lot of shame and guilt around people having problems in relationships. And that's why so many couples leave it to the very last minute, when they're walking out the door and leaving the relationship, that they finally get some help, which is really sad. You know, and how many years do we continue to try and function dysfunctionally with someone when there's better ways? So that's the reason for that. So there's a lot of help in helping you move forward. So highly recommend just jump on the call. Does that answer your question, Christiane?
I'm sorry for being a pain, but it's just that I really want to know what you're all about, because even if I'm asking these questions, maybe these other people do have these questions too.
Absolutely.
Because it's I know you're inviting everybody to come and have a 15-minute talk, but that's good. But I think we want to know what else that you do, so that there might be something, in particular that we really want to tune in with you. I do believe you're not just a counselor. I believe, from what I've heard, you've been an exotic dancer for quite some time, and I think a lot of women would like to really connect with you and would be curious to know. My phone is just about to go flat. To be curious to know what it was like for you, and I think you mentioned also that you're having a women's circle or a meeting of some sort where women can actually come, and it's a free night or something. So these are the things that I wanted to know, and like knowing more about what you do and what you got to offer, so that we want to know dates and all that. If you can advertise, or just if you can promote on Aldwyn's group or on her page or something that will link us to you, and then we'll be able to, tap more into what you do, if that's okay.
No, thank you, Christiane, for asking those questions, because they are valid. And I'm one of those people that Aldwyn talks about the best kept secret.
Yes.
And me and my walls, like no one's coming near me, and I'm a very private person. So yeah, it's 2021 is me breaking out of all that, and you're going to know a whole lot more. Yes, so answering your question, I am a coach. I'm a master result skills together, and I intuitively work with someone. Yeah, so that's on a one-on-one. I do one-on-one sessions. I also do group sessions, so over 8 weeks. I have a program, 8-week program. I also run a retreat called Reclaim Your Sass. I'm also running an evening called a free evening that you can have a taster and come and check it out. I'm running Relationships Raw and Real, which is an event where any questions you've got about relationships, then my partner, he works with couples and men. Any issues you've got around relationships and moving forward with that, he's got the same thing, online program, also working counseling, one-on-one sessions as well. So
awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Good questions there, Christiane. Now, I would love to share my screen because we have some giveaways to do, and I really want to show the Wheel of Names. It's such a cool little app that we can spin the wheel. So I'm going to share my screen. Now, I know there's only 3 of us, and we do have some prizes to give away. So we're going to share the love here amongst the Zoom. Now, Foxy, would you like to explain what your prize is?
What my prize is my online program, which is 8 modules of working through your stuckness, okay, and coming back and learning to love yourself from the inside out. So that takes you through baby steps each week. We just do a little step, a baby step, and you build on that as we learn to integrate it into our lives without being overwhelming and trying to do everything else at the same time. It's just baby steps that we do, and by the end of that you will feel a whole lot more confident. So that is worth $297, and I'm giving that away.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Foxy. And I am already in the program. So let's just see, when we spin the wheel here, let's just see if Christiane's name pops up here. Let's just see what happens. You've won your own prize. Yay, Foxy.
Well, guess what? I'm going to have to go and do my course.
So let's close that. Let's give that one to Christiane. Hey, Christiane, you have that prize because I'm already in the program. So
I'm happy with that.
So you win that. And I'm going to give away a media strategy session where we can discuss your media with either of you. Well, actually, I don't want to win it myself. So let's just put you back in here, Christiane. Well, you've already won one. So how about I just give it to Foxy? I'll give Foxy a media strategy session. So Foxy wins something today too. And there we go. There's our winners for today. Yay. Everyone's a winner, baby.
Thank you.
Awesome.
What about
awesome.
you? What do you win?
Media strategy session. Oh, well, yeah, well, I haven't won anything, have I? Well, I've won your company tonight. I've won, I don't know, I haven't, well, yeah, I haven't won anything. That's true. Yeah, I need to receive too, don't I? Well,
Absolutely.
either of you are welcome to offer something if you would like.
So what would you like?
A massage would be great. I was a bit stiff in the shoulders.
So what does Foxy have to offer you?
Well, I can offer you a one-on-one session as well.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, awesome. One-on-one session with Foxy. Yay. All right, beautiful. Thank you, Foxy.
Right. So you're happy.
Excellent.
Cool.
Excellent. Thank you. That's great. And Christiane, would you like to offer Foxy something?
Oh, we're all sharing the love here.
Yeah.
So what would Foxy like to have?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of like I'm going to ask you the same questions. I'm not sure what you've got to offer. So you've learned a little bit about me. So how about you can think about it. You don't have to sort of do it right now if that's, yeah.
Okay, so I do weight loss, so I don't think you need to lose weight because you've got your dancing that keeps you in shape.
Yes.
So what is your weight loss thing?
Pardon?
What is your weight loss thing?
It's just a matter of doing a 30-day program where you just you just detox and get yourself back in shape and get your health right.
30-day
So I
program.
offer free mentoring for that for a month.
Could you use that, Foxy? Do you think? I know
And
you're in great shape, but
So
I mean,
that's one thing. Otherwise, if you'd like to have a copy of my book, I'd be quite happy to offer you a copy of my book.
cool. What's your
can you
book?
show us your book, Christiane? Have you got a copy of the book there handy? Let's promote your book. It's Health Dynamics. And Christiane, for those who don't know, she has healed herself of diabetes. She has overcome an abusive relationship of over 20 years of physical, mental, emotional abuse. And she's come through a whole lot of hardship, and amazing lady. And Christiane's often someone I turn to when I'm in a rut. I will turn to Christiane and go, oh, help, I'm in breakdown. And she just has a way about her, and she just helps to, by the end of chatting with Christiane, I always feel amazing. So are you doing one-on-one coaching sessions too, Christiane, that you're promoting at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, just if somebody's stuck, usually. Oh,
yeah.
I'm getting a call from overseas.
Oh, there's a call coming. That's perfect timing. It's just taken your camera off.
I have to stop it.
That's hilarious. So there's a few options you have there, Foxy. So Christiane has a book called Health Dynamics. She has the weight loss
The book
program.
sounds good.
The book sounds good. Did you say?
Well, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, the book, which we'd love to see, Christiane, when you
Hang on.
when you get off the phone with your.
Just give me a minute.
She's going to take a phone call, right?
She's going to take a phone call. Oh, that's funny. That's so funny. Oh gosh. And
okay, sorry about that. I just came from my book.
That's okay. That's okay. Yes, get a copy of your book. That's awesome. And Foxy, I must say, this work going into your, into feeling your body, it's something that I have definitely resisted for a long time. And I've just kept busy externally. I've been very ambitious for such a long time, and just constantly keeping busy on the outside and very mentally stimulated, so as not to feel, because I'm highly empathic, right? Highly empathic. And I feel things so deeply that I can get very hurt easily, sometimes, and particularly in relationships. And it's something that I've guarded my heart as well for a long time. There's the book, Health Dynamics.
Health Dynamics, cool. Awesome.
Great photo of you, Christiane, on the cover. Great photo. And what's the subtitle there, Christiane, under Health Dynamics? What is this?
The subtitle is A Unique Principle of Self-Healing.
A Unique Principle of Self-Healing. Beautiful.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Cool.
And for anyone who wants to get a copy of your book, Christiane, where can they find you?
So if they just connect with me on Messenger, Christiane V, or just send me a friend's request on Facebook, then I can connect with them and give them all the information.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Thank you, Christiane, for your generosity. Thank you, Foxy, for your generosity.
So sorry, I didn't hear you. Did she want a copy of the book?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I just
copy of the book. So maybe at Tuesdays on Tedder. Is there a physical meeting of Tuesdays on Tedder coming up? The lovely Moana and Karen.
Yeah, there should be one in February, I think.
Yeah, February.
Okay, February.
So
okay,
so going to that.
Yep.
So maybe at the next one. Yeah, I'd love to keep tabs on that, because sometimes I miss them, and I love the ladies at Tuesdays on Tedder. If you're watching, Moana and Karen, love you lots. Keep going with the amazing group, all the people that attend Tuesdays on Tedder. Amazing, amazing. And thanks to you, I've connected with Foxy, and now Foxy and I have done all these things together thanks to Tuesdays on Tedder. So there you go. You just never know where things will lead. Christiane and I, we've known each other, gosh, how many years now, Christiane? Is it 15 years?
I think probably about, it's at least 12 years.
At least 12 years. Yeah, we've almost grown up together.
Oh my goodness.
Looks like that. That's a long time. We've been through a lot, haven't we, Christiane?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And we're all going to be celebrating my birthday in 2 days' time, and my dad's birthday on a Hawaiian boat party. And lucky you guys got tickets, because I've had at least another 5-6 people say they want tickets, and it's sold out. So my apologies to any friends who weren't able to get tickets. I was unfortunately there's a limit on the boat. It's called the Lady Boat we're going out on at Marina Mirage. We leave about 4:30 on Saturday, come back about 10 p.m. And apparently there will be an after party on this, the Hawaiian boat party. So dress Hawaiian, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm turning 47 in 2 days' time, and my dad's turning 83 on the same day. So dad's coming along with my mum. They've been married 51 years this year, and they're gorgeous, coming down from the Sunshine Coast. So we're going to celebrate with them. We're going to have a cake, and there's going to be games on board, and I think there could be some kind of lap dancing happening at some point. So I'm not sure. Hopefully my dad won't have a heart attack if it happens to him, and hopefully I won't have a heart attack if it happens to me. But we'll soon find out. We'll soon see what goes on there. But there's a few games apparently, and there's prizes for best dressed. So I did get the word out to people, you know, a little while ago with some people, and some a bit more recently. And if you didn't get your ticket, my apologies. I have no control over it. It's a public cruise. I've just invited a few friends along, and they are limited to 100 people. So as with COVID restrictions, etc. So there's not much we can do unless someone cancels. And I know there's a few people on the waiting list. So so we're going to have fun anyway, those that do attend, and it's a great chance to celebrate life. So we'll all be there. So actually you guys could connect there as well on Saturday. There you go. You probably weren't aware that 2 of you are going to be there. So there we go. We're doing some connections here. It's all happening here on the live Zoom on the Mass Media Tribe meetup. And moving forward, the Mass Media Tribe meetups are going to be monthly events moving forward. I did them fortnightly for last year, and this year I'm going to spread them out a bit more. And we've got the Free Publicity Secrets event, which at this stage I just have the next event schedule, which is 23rd of January. So if you do want to come to that, make sure you get your ticket on Eventbrite. It's free to attend. You will learn so much about how to get publicity. I don't hold back with the information I give. I've worked in the media behind the scenes for 36 years, 37 years now, that I've got experience behind the scenes, and I share everything. So you can ask whatever you like and I will share it. And people were blown away at the content from the last event that I did on the 9th of January, 23rd of January. Come to my event, then go to Foxxy's event afterwards. Okay, love to see you there. And stay tuned. We have some amazing speakers coming up for the Mass Media Tribe meetup. So there will be once a month moving forward, and stay tuned on the Mass Media Tribe meetup group and Facebook group in the events section. And I do recommend you follow me in Eventbrite. So look up Aldwyn Altuney in Eventbrite and follow me there. There's a little follow button. Follow me to get all the event updates, okay? Because, you know, things get lost in emails, you know, we don't always pick up things. So if you're following me in Eventbrite, you should be getting notifications, and stay connected on Facebook. And of course, the Global Good News Challenge for anyone who's game. And Christian was one of the first people that did I think you might have been the first one, did a 21-day challenge back in June last year. 21-day challenge. Good on you, Christian. And what was that experience like for you?
Amazing. Loved it.
Yeah. How good was it sharing gratitude on those Facebook Lives?
That was really good. I might do the February one actually.
Yeah, February is only 5 days. Easy peasy. Okay, I don't want any excuses. You're too busy. It takes 3 minutes, okay, for most people. 3 minutes to do a Facebook Live and share your name, what you do, 3 things you're grateful for, and a piece of good news, okay? It's just about as quick as brushing your teeth, all right? You can do a quick good news challenge.
I do it while I brush my teeth.
It's funny, as a kid, I remember.
Yeah,
why you brush it? You could do it brushing your teeth. That'd be authentic. I actually remember saying years ago to a dentist, I don't have time to brush my teeth. He said, it takes 2 minutes. And I thought, oh yeah, he's right. I can't use that. Don't have
See you
time.
later.
Don't have time. Excuse. Okay, wrapping up. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, everyone. And we will see you again soon. Stay connected, and lots of love to you. Sending love, and joining Global Good News Challenge Facebook page. Connect everywhere. Just Google us. You'll find us, and stay connected. Hopefully we'll see you at the next event. All right. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you, Christian. I'm grateful for you, Foxy. Would you like to share what you're grateful for before you run off to take that international call, Christian?
Well, I'm grateful for you and our friendship, and you know, the amazing human being you are. I'm very grateful for every little thing that comes my way every single day, and I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for where I live. I'm grateful for everything.
Beautiful. Thank you, Christiana. What are you grateful for today, Foxy?
I'm grateful for you, Aldwyn, and Christian being here, and yeah, all the sharing that you do, all your amazingness. bubble up. And I'm also grateful for my partner, Robert. He's cooked me dinner and I'm going to go and eat it.
Oh, enjoy. Wow. And I bet it's yummy too. I bet it's yummy. I've seen some of Robert's cooking. In fact, I've tasted some. It's amazing. All right. Lots of love. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone watching this as well. The replay. What are you grateful for? Pop into the chat. We'll see you again at the next event soon. To your media success. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.